Andrew. I've lived in Illinois for about 30 years, but initially I was born out on the land across from Toledo. It used to be called Fort Norman once upon a time. One of the most important things in people's lives, I believe, is that we need to be healthy. And a lot of us take care of ourselves physically, but there's that very important part of mental health, the emotional and also the spiritual. I believe that we need to be able to do that in order to be whole. In order to teach people well, we've got to be well ourselves. I spent 7 years in residential schools, so I know about physical, mental, sexual, and emotional abuse. I know that. I've gone through that myself, and I know what it's like to be down in the gutter. And I know what it's like not to want to be there, but can't help yourself to being there. There's about 4 or 5 things that happened in my life in about a year's term. A relationship breakup, a death in the family. You learn to handle one wave, if you will. But to get 3 or 4 waves coming at the same time, you have no time to recover. And all of a sudden you discover that I'm angry, I'm lonely, I'm mad as hell, and I don't know why. And the beauty of other people in my life is that one of the persons came up to me and he said, "What's wrong with you?" And I didn't think there was anything wrong with me. I thought I was just doing normal stuff. And he said, "What's wrong with you? All these things you enjoy, you don't do that." And he hit my stomach and he said, "Look, you're getting big. What's wrong with you?" That's exactly the things that you always said never to do. And that's when I discovered that, yeah, maybe there are some issues that I need to deal with. The disease is so insidious that you don't know that you're being depressed or feeling depressed. And all of a sudden one day you just don't want to do anything. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to do anything at all. All you want to do is sit down, watch television, and criticize the world. But I know that without people I wouldn't have been able to recognize what I was going through. You know, we're not made to be alone. We're social beings. If you're like me, you can't say, I'm going through this, but other people will be able to tell you that. Other people will put things into perspective for you. Even on those days when I didn't want to pick up the guitar, I had to pick up the guitar. And I had to read books that I didn't want to read. And I had to go for walks. And I had to say hello to people and pretend I'm happy. I play my songs and I listen for the stories of my ancestors. A lot of the teachings I've discovered from our people is to pull you out of that negative place, always to encourage you, always to make sure that first of all, you're a human being, you're alive and you're good. But I make sure I go for a walk on this trail. I make sure that I walk on a daily basis and sometimes for a couple of hours. And one of the things that I really enjoy about this is the peace and the quietness. It gives you an opportunity to visit inside, you know, the heart. I ask the Creator for help on a regular basis. For me, the Creator is around us all over the place. And my ancestors are around us all the time. So they have never left us. They're not here physically, but they're here. I've learned in that connection with nature. I'm trying to reconnect once again with nature. I'm trying to reconnect with some of the very basic things that I learned when I was a child. People can grab your hand, people can hug you, people can do all those kind of things, but they can't help you with depression. You got to do the work yourself. I feel like right now I am happy with most of my life. I've discovered that I'm not going to be perfect, and that's okay.